Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Karex, and we're going to be starting another starter build, this time on the Austrian Alps map. And kind of an interesting map theme for this one. Again, there'll be a link down below for the file, for the map theme, for all the things to make it visually similar to what I'm doing here, which includes, I think we are using the, what are we using? This is a utility. I don't have to worry about this. Realistic LUT. And I think we're also using Daylight Classic to sort of maintain this effect. Although I will admit that the fertile soil is like kind of like an odd bright green color, but I think everything else here I think is looking pretty nice. And we'll be able to, you know, if you had a mod like extra landscaping tools, you'd be able to get rid of this fertile soil, so that would be kind of nice. But this is essentially our starting point. We actually have some train lines going here, which is kind of interesting. Two different train lines, in fact, actually. I don't know if one of those is like meant for cargo, one's meant for passengers or what, or exactly what's going on the side of the map. But let's in typical fashion, guys, let's let's get ourselves a starter city going here. And I'm already kind of thinking, okay, train makes me think industry. So this could be like, you know, typically I think you could look at how this is getting split, right? We have the water here. This is getting split by the freeway. Maybe the industry would be good sort of on the other side of the freeway. Maybe the residential would be good over here and the industry down here. But maybe this is more kind of like downtown-ish. Maybe downtown's going to be somewhere else completely. You know, so we don't even have to worry too much about downtown right this second. But this kind of looks like this would be a good industrial area. We could even have another way to connect to the freeway over here or something like that. So I kind of think if we bring... And there's not going to be any additional mods or DLCs or any kind of requirements for this. This map has been made essentially vanilla. There are a couple trees though. There are a couple trees that the map maker used in sort of setting this up. Actually, you know what I'm kind of thinking? I'm kind of thinking about bopping some of this right off the bat and just getting these going a little bit more uniform, which is going to be kind of the same effect. I think we're going to end up having to make some adjustments to this. You can see that they have some weird like 1:3s and just some sort of like little screwy bits and stuff. They did their best. They did their best, but there's some weird stuff going on there. I think honestly we might just do kind of a more traditional sort of down and back. To start things off. Of course, we will want that to sort of hook back around too, right? Actually, I will say that this is the roads are quite bright, but I think the visual, we'll have to see what the buildings look like. Again, you can load this with any map theme you want. You can load this with any LUT you want. Maybe this is just maybe this doesn't look good visually, but you can load it with anything you want. That's not going to be a problem. So this is our little main street here. We can have commercial off of this. But I think ultimately, right, what we're going to kind of want to do is get some industry on the other side. And that industry is going to want sort of like, I think, some kind of service way. The interesting thing about this is a right turn on, like sort of it's just right turns. There's no left turns being made here. But let's, do we want this to go over, up, or maybe even under? I don't know. Just kind of making stuff up right here, guys. Like 8 height. That's actually 9, so that makes me think something's not even here. Although it looks pretty even. Oh, there's just an odd. That's right, the spacing here. This is lined up, so it's 4, and then there's 1, and then 4. So it is 9. Does make sense. This whole distance was a 17. We could try to make it completely symmetrical. Like that. But I think we do want to come in and just keep that elevated there. I think that's going to look better. And we have ourselves like a very basic but also very effective sort of industrial kind of like on-off system going on here. I think something like this actually will work. I think though it also makes sense to have, and again, the rails here are here, but we could end up destroying some of them, pushing them back and doing some other stuff. We are going to need quite a bit of industrial, and I think we're going to try to jam it into this whole area here. Which, we might need more space than that. I'm not entirely sure. You know what? I might preemptively get rid of this rail. Some of it at least. Just back it up a bit, and it's not gonna be hard to redo that. Yeah, you know what? Goodbye, rail. It's good that you're here. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Can we do it with move it? I think we can do it with move it. There we go. Goodbye. Just bump it back a bit. We don't have room for it there. Have this come out exact 30. Ooh, apparently there's an angle there that actually isn't really matching with the box. I think we want this to stay straight though. So how far out can we go to sort of still get this? Oh, space is already occupied. Let's go. Is that 90? I'm assuming that's a 90 over here, but I'm not sure. We weren't even hooked in. That's fine. Is this going to be 90? That is 90. Okay, good. So this is kind of also creating... Let's get this back. I don't know what we're doing here, guys. I really don't. If these people... Yeah, you know, I think really just having this be one way through here makes sense. That seems to be relatively evened up. I mean, there's maybe like a slight off to it. These angles might not be 89.9, 89.9. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. That's going to be a good commercial sort of area there. Oh, this isn't even hooked in. Wait a second. Is this our problem? Hello? That's perfect angle. That's 90 out. That's 90, 90. I don't know. We'll just go with the 90, 90 and hope for the best. That seems basically exact to me, you know. These look good. These look good enough. How much have we spent? 20,000 on this. This is going to be good industrial infrastructure, though. Very good industrial infrastructure. I think, actually, ironically, we could almost make this turn into the actual main street, but I think the idea was to make this into the main street. This is going to eventually need to sort of bleed into... We do have bigger road here. I mean, maybe we come at like a 120 angle? And then we curve that a bit? I don't know. I don't want to go too crazy here. What did 2020 look like? I think we might end up just kind of freestyling this. And kind of just going with the flow here. That might be a dead end. For now, that might just end up being a dead end for the commercial. Let's think about how the residential is going to hook in. Does the residential hook in from down here? Maybe it does. In fact, what we probably want to do is let's actually, I'm just getting some weird kind of ideas here. What if that came out 8? Okay. Okay. And then this sort of, that came out 8, so let's go with the 4, and then 8 more, and then bop that connection, because I don't think we actually want that connection there. What is this angle right here, though? Did we ever get an actual number on this? It's a 150-degree angle. So if we mimic that, where does that end up? Here? Huh. This is starting to look kind of messy over here, I'm not going to lie. That is a perfect 120. No, it's not. No, it's not. There we go. I don't know what we're doing. We need residential. We need it fast. We need residential and we need it fast. This is all looking a little goofy, but we are trying to go with the flow here as best as we can. Might end up just kind of giving ourselves a little bit more grid look. This whole distance should be 20. Yes, good. Okay, so that's 20. I mean, heck, maybe we go 150 out of here. Except for, we have to know... 150 means be 30 degrees. What am I trying to say? If this is 150 degrees here, that means that this makes a 30 degree angle here. So it's 90, so it'd be a 120, right? 120 is effectively the same there. So these angles should both be, if this is 150, this is 120, this should be 120, and this is 90. So 90 plus 120, or 90 plus 150 equals 240 plus 120 equals 360. There we go. So that's that. These, they don't look the same, partly because this is longer now. What was the distance on that? 22? We can bring that back to 22 if we want. I don't know what the heck we're doing right now, guys. We are like, you know, yikes. Yikes. But we're kind of getting something. I mean, maybe it's a little bit more macroscopic, but we're getting something down. We're getting something down here. How is this going to look, actually? Huh. That's 10. Full distance, there's 20, so we kind of want to go 10 down. That says it's 10 down, but it's lining up in a way that doesn't seem quite right. I mean, that's almost lining up logically. This is looking like an area we can at least fill. So let's start getting the essential things down. Okay, it looks like we are going to have some good wind turbine areas. Well, maybe not amazing, but they're going to be 7 megawatts, which I think will be good enough. This will also be sort of touching the industrial area, which will be nice. And eventually, once this is filled in, we'll have power sort of going this whole way, which will be great. So actually the water is flowing out this way, so we need sewage. Water's going this direction here, so sewage needs to be there. Clean water would be kind of over... Actually, clean water, we're probably just going to have the clean water right ahead of the sewage here, and this should be fine for just having two, one of each. I just realized we didn't have the game paused, guys, so how much money have we lost just in maintenance? How much money have we lost in maintenance? Someone's adding it up. We'll be fine, guys. I promise. We'll get this done. We'll get this done. Yikes. Yikes. Of course, we'll need piping through the residential. I think as long as we can have a little bit of money left over, I think it's actually kind of a good strategy just to burn all your money, as long as you know you have enough roads down, because you're going to be going into the money that you save is just going to get burned up as soon as you flip it on. So I think as long as we can get more roads down, what that's going to translate into for us is literally just more potential zoning spread, right? More initial zone spread. Looks like what we're building right here is going to be a little bit more condensed, which is kind of different. Kind of different. There we go. All our money is gone. We spent a lot of it on pipes, but the whole area is well piped up. Yeah, this LUT and map theme is making it a little bit harder to even see our own zoning in here. So you might want to do something different, right? You might want to use an LUT and map theme that you really like. Combination. I think what we're going to try to do with this series is, obviously we're going to be playing on different maps, trying to get people, you know, looking at different maps and how different maps can kind of play into, you know, creating really nice. Actually, hold the phone. You know, obviously how the map can be used to make effective, not just effective, but like from a design perspective, right? Interesting cities, how we're going to use the map, right? We're using the terrain. We're using the box we start with. We're using the freeway that we're given, right? We're using all these different things, basically, to guide us, right? To guide us, so... I think if we wanted some zoning on there, it'd be totally fine, but now we're kind of just being interrupted by the power lines, which I'm hoping we can get rid of. That's going to be probably one of our goals here, is just... Oops, here, get rid of this. What's going on? Why am I in the zoning section? I just want to be in this section. And get rid of these stoplights. Let's go up to speed 3. Let's also make sure that we've cut our power and water as low as we can. Speed 3, let it all build in. I'm a little bit worried we might have to actually bring down residential all the way down into here. I think we wanted to fill this a little bit more, and I think that we wanted this to be a little bit more of a commercial area. But let's fill this here. That's going to be an awkward looking house, but again, that's partly just because of the electricity nonsense that we have going on. So as long as we can start to see some of these sort of connecting up and stuff. Oh, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Oh, we're using move it to cheat again, guys. That to go to there. That to kind of go to there. Eee. Because nobody had any water for a second there. Whoops. Let's just bring the power up to full. I mean, I'm not going to worry about saving a small amount of power, but we'll worry about saving water. We're saving money off the water, right? We'll worry about that, but yeah, that means this house is going to get poofed here in a second, but it is what it is. Well, it seems to be holding strong right now for whatever reason. Lots of industry demand. I think this is going to be good, getting all this filled in. So let's just go. Let's just go. We're making a profit, guys. I repeat, we are making a profit. We have a successful starter city. Let's get into the positives here. Let's get into the positive money. As this industry grows in, we'll start to get a lot of residential demand. We might, like, it seems to me that we're going to want a connection point. I don't know if we connect here or if we go up it. We might actually, you know what, an up and over here might make more sense. To get the residential people to be able to communicate back and forth. Up and over here makes a lot more sense. I'm just wondering, maybe it could go under. It could go up and over or under. Under. We've done under a couple times. Done over a couple times. This is over. Yeah, we could mimic this by going over. Yeah, I think we'll make that an up and over. That's how that'll connect, so the residential kind of feed into that. We probably will still want a road that goes one way into this loop from this main system, so that the trucks can just kind of, you know, go off there. We're about to get into the positive monies here. It looks like positive simoleons. We have plenty of room for everything to be growing. There's the little hamlet is coming down. Little hamlet has dropped. Let's get ourselves some... Actually, that's kind of an interesting dilemma, in a way. I'm just kind of noticing that this building right here, this is a one-way. We may or may not have ourselves a little bit of a junction issue here. I guess we could curve it more, sure. Yeah, we could just kind of curve that a little bit. It seems to work just fine. So we need that. We also need a health clinic. Health clinics will be good about propagating electricity across that way. There we go. We're starting to get a connection here for electricity. So I think what we'll do is we will bop some of this, because that's all connected up there. This is now all connected here. There we go. There we go. We now have basically a minimal amount of utility sort of power lines and things running through the city, interrupting sort of the ability for us to zone and design and things. We do just need more power though. I think for now we're actually going to probably just crank this up because we can't really afford to put down another wind turbine, but that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do once we get the money. And then at this point, yep, that's right, going hitting Little Hamlet kicks us down to 1 speed. We got to remember to kick that back up to 3 speed. Although I usually like just kind of putting around at 1 speed, to be honest. That's how I like to play, but I understand that we got to get stuff done. This is looking good so far as a starter city. And this actually is a starter city, but of course we're going to want to fill this out. Maybe start doing some design work into here. Start planning out some expansions and stuff. And we're going to have to figure out a way to really utilize this space because we're going to need a lot more industry, I suspect. And I don't want to buy this tile. So maybe we actually sneak industry. Maybe we have like an under here. Maybe we go underneath the freeway here and do more industry up here. And it's just kind of like a big mass that goes out to the west or something. I'm not sure. Very, very close. Oh, nope, we can't. It's 6,000 a pop. There we go. Put that down. That should be power, power, power for everybody. Tons of power. There we go. And now we no longer have any issues there. And guys, thank you so much for watching this first episode of a starter city. Now, this is a completely functional city. Completely functional city. And it's got an interesting design. It's kind of like we're going somewhere with this, you know? We're going with somewhere with this. So, but let's continue working through these ideas. Let's continue working through this design and get something a little bit more established here and get some more of the essential services unlocked and placed down. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. If you guys have any thoughts on the series, of course, you know, post them down below, and all the relevant links to download this save file, the completed version of the save file, right after we've gone through 3 or 4 episodes, will be down below, and also the mods to make it look this way. If you guys like the look, I think this would look a lot better if we didn't have these this bright green here. And there is a way to get rid of that if you have extra landscaping tools, right? You can get rid of the fertile soil. That's what's happening, is this fertile soil is just like sticking out at us in a weird way. So guys, thank you so much again for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.